Are you okay, Gabriel?
Sure. Great. Why?
I'm worried about you.
If I were any better, Grace, I'd be dead. Now, what's up?
You got another package this morning. FedEx from Germany.
I was expecting that. Where is it?
Well, it kind of came open, but I salvaged the contents. There was a letter from your great-uncle Wolfgang and a journal.
The package just came open, huh? How'd you like the journal?
Someone has to look after you. You're in trouble. In case you don't know it.
Yeah, you've been reading my horoscope again, haven't you, Grace?
Just read the journal carefully, Gabriel. Please.
I got it. St. George's books. Oh, Professor Hartridge, I'm glad you called. Did you... You did? Wait, slow down. The Aigris? Really? You think that's them? The wheel within a wheel? Ogun Badagri, huh? Well, that does sound like it. Dambala, the snake. That's the wavy pattern at the bottom, okay. The 1791 slave revolt in Santo Domingo. Well, why would the Veve show up there? Okay. 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 Look, I'll come over as soon as I can. Okay. Relax, Professor. I'm excited too, but you're gonna give yourself a heart attack. Okay. Thanks. See ya.
I wish you'd tell me what's going on. I swear you're going to step into a hole you may never get out of.
Don't look so worried. No one knows what I'm doing. I'm perfectly safe. And I'm getting some great stuff for the book. Besides, there's something about all this. My dreams.
What about your dreams?
Nothing. I'll be careful, I promise.
Good morning, Grace. Good morning, creepy old man. We will be heading towards the university very soon. But before we do, we have some things that we need to check out.
Times-Picayune, dated June 22nd, 1993. Disgusted with the state of the voodoo murder case, Gabriel turns right to his horoscope. The shadow upon you is no longer reversible.
Wonderful.
That sounds bright and cheery.
The letter is addressed to Gabriel from Wolfgang Ritter. Wolfgang's letter says,
Dear Gabriel, please read the enclosed journal carefully. It might help you understand your family's special obligations and our current predicament. God be with you, Uncle Wolfgang.
it's a newspaper clipping from the year 1810. The newspaper clipping describes a ritualistic murder in Congo Square. It includes a rough sketch of a pattern found around the body. The sketch is very similar to the reconstructed Veve. Gunter Ritter's diary is leather-bound. Its parchment pages are old and fragile. Gabriel reads through the pages Wolfgang marked. He reads of Gunter Ritter's journey to Charleston as witch hunter, hired by the townsmen to solve a series of ritualistic murders. He reads about Gunter's meeting with a beautiful slave woman, Tetelo, and of Gunter's tormenting urges for her.
Oh, bastard.
He reads of their physical union and passion, and of Gunter's investigations into the murders. The victims were all crew members on a certain slaving expedition to Africa, it seemed. The second to the last entry described Gunter's plan to set a trap for the coven committing the murders. He found the name of one of the surviving members of the crew, a man now living in the West Indies. Gunter has spread a false rumor that the man is returning to Charleston. He himself will impersonate a sailor and allow himself to fall into the hands of the coven. Naturally, Gunter has arranged for able-bodied assistants to follow and attack the coven before they can do him harm.
Halsey, son of a bitch, wasn't he?
Gabriel turns to the final entry of the journal.
Oh, so this one we have to read ourselves. Dear Father, I offer these final words as apology for the harm done to our sacred office. The woman I wrote of, Tetello, was the witch I sought. I have committed terrible crimes. I loved this witch, then betrayed her, and then used our sacred family power to free her and aid her in destroying this colony. The talisman is gone. Tetello took it. I can but pray for thy forgiveness, for thy swift recovery of the talisman, and that my punishment in hell will be long and bitter. Thy undeserving son, Gunther. I believe that's all for now. Let's speak to Grace before we leave.
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
Have you ever heard of Damballa?
Ooh, no. Makes my skin crawl, though.
Does Ogun Badaikri mean anything to you?
No, sorry.
Could you do some research for me?
Sure, what?
Could you research Rada drums for me?
Rhododrum? Sure. I don't think we have any books on that topic in the shop, but I'll contact our suppliers. Assuming any of them will extend you any credit.
Tell them it's an emergency.
Uh-huh. I can see where a Rhododrum book would be incredibly urgent. Anything else?
I can't think of anything.
Okay.
Alright, now it's time to visit the professor.
See you later.
Don't hurry back on my account.
Hey, Hot Ridge, what's the good word? Hot Ridge? Ah! Oh, God, not again.
Oh dear. What happened to him?
Something about Hartridge's death mask reminds Gabriel of the way Crash checked out. Not a pretty ending.
They almost look related.
Whatever Hartridge may have learned, he cannot share with Gabriel now. At least, not vocally.
I don't believe there is a separate description for this.
Dr. Hartridge's desk is remarkably neat, especially considering the rest of the room. On the desk is a sheet of paper with some scribbled notes. It looks recent.
Okay, I sit corrected.
These notes look interesting.
Hartridge's notes are scribbled on notepad paper.
The People's Republic of Benin? Okay. There must have been more information than this, but we'll take this for now.
Before leaving the university, Gabriel notifies campus security about Hartridge's body.
We may as well head back to the museum. I'm sure we will be able to gather more information there.
Why is it so dark in here? Dr. John? Hello? Uh-oh.
Oh dear. The solution is we need to press the button for the fan.
You bastard!
Good day, Mr. Knight.
That thing just tried to kill me.
He did? I am sorry. The museum is closed today, you see, and we were not expecting visitors. But if you will excuse me, Mr. Knight, I must go look for him. He is incredibly valuable.
You don't need to ask twice. I'm out of here. By the way, you might want to lock your door next time you're closed.
Not a bad idea. Goodbye, Mr. Knight.
Dr. John was remarkably unconcerned about the snake being on the loose and attacking us, and us being there while the shop was closed. Sorry, the museum.
Posted on the door of the museum is a sign saying, "Closed today only." This time the door is actually locked.
Alright. We're going to head back to the bookstore.
What happened to you?
Who, me? Nothing. Why?
Well, you're kind of a pale green color. Come here.
Pale green, you say? Charming.
What's that on your face?
I'm sure you'll tell me.
Looks like a sparkly or something. Got it.
I love it when you pick stuff off my face, Grace.
Well, excuse me.
What else has she picked from his face?
The item in the ashtray is too small to pick up by hand. There's something in the ashtray.
Time for the tweezers.
Looks like the python left me a souvenir. Very interesting.
Gabriel magnifies the snake scale from the Voodoo Museum's python. The iridescent scale is brilliantly hued with greens and purples. The iridescent scale is brilliantly hued with greens and purples. Gabriel magnifies the scale from the lake. It's hued with purples and greens. It matches the scale from the Voodoo Museum. He places the two scales together.
And one more time.
Gabriel magnifies the two scales. The two iridescent scales are a perfect match.
Okay, let's head back out again. There's not much to do today.
I've got some things I need to do.
Good luck.
And we are back here. Well, that's kind of obvious. I'm feeling under the weather again today, so please forgive me.
The second message made from the voodoo crosses is on the wall.
Let me get these new marks down.
Yeah, my brain is not so sharp today, but I will still try. This was the first one, I believe, so this is the second.
It's Gabriel's sketch of the new series of crosses from the Laveau tomb wall. Looking at the series of crosses, Gabriel can't help but to think that they have a pattern and a meaning he is not comprehending.
No, but what we can do is we can combine the first message with the second.
Gabriel checks the two messages for duplicate symbols and transfers the letters from the matches to the new message. He finds that he has the translation for all of the symbols, except for 3.
I'm sure that we can at least attempt to work it out. So this one said DJ Conclave tonight, bring wet cash. And this one, DJ keep eyes on GK, but do not harm. Now we can actually write a message on the tomb.
I think I'll leave a message of my own.
And we can use the symbols on the messages that we jotted down before. But right now, I can solve this puzzle, but it will not make any sense. So I'm going to wait until the next day when it does make sense. But writing down anything else doesn't result in anything really. Alright, let's move on for now.
Sensing that his message isn't quite right, Gabriel rubs it off in frustration.
I don't really like to leave a puzzle unsolved, but at least it sets us up for when we do need to solve it. Maybe we can speak to Miss Moonbeam and get her opinion.
A sign on the front door of Magentia's home reads, attending a channeling seminar until August 1st.
Oh, okay. How about the Madame?
There's no answer. Perhaps Kazunu got even more paranoid than usual and decided to get out of town.
Alright, there's only one more thing that we need to do right now. I would do the rounds, but no one actually has any new information for us right now. We just get plenty of... I have no idea. Oh, interesting. We may as well speak to the Sarge while he's here, or while we're here as well.
Got a second, officer?
What can I do you for?
Do you know anything about a secret voodoo hound four?
Hound what?
Hound four. It's a temple.
Sounds like someone's pulling your leg on that one.
Do you know anything about Veve?
Reves? Never heard of it.
Have you ever heard of Dumbala?
No, sounds foreign or something.
Does Ogun Badakri mean anything to you?
Hell no.
Do you know anything about black voodoo?
Black? Voodoo? Isn't that kind of the same thing?
Actually, no.
Well, all I know about voodoo is to keep away from it. You should too, Knight.
Do you know anything about Rada drums?
I like Lawrence Welk myself. Has that beignet guy been by yet today? I'm starved.
I haven't seen him in a while. I don't think he's coming by here anymore.
Damn. You can't count on anything these days.
The Sarge does not know anything either, but at least he's slightly more entertaining.
Mostly my man.
Knight, I had a feeling you'd show up. Knight, I hate to tell you this, but you're out of a book. The Voodoo Murders case has been closed.
I had a feeling you were going to say that, son of a bitch. Can I ask you about some stuff?
You're the writer. Ask away.
Do you know anything about a secret voodoo hound four?
Oh, come on. Someone's pulling your leg, Knight.
Are you sure?
There's nothing secret about voodoo in New Orleans. There's a museum, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, but that's the stuff they want you to see.
You're getting mighty paranoid, Knight.
Do you know anything about Veves?
What?
Veves. They're ritualistic patterns used in voodoo. You know, like those marks we found around the body.
You know what the department says about that, Knight. That voodoo stuff is faked.
Yeah, well, they're wrong. These Veves...
Look, just stop worrying about them marks. I don't think they're relevant.
Have you ever heard of Dumbala?
You mean gumbo?
No, I mean Dumbala.
Never heard of it.
Does the name Ogun Badakri mean anything to you?
Say what?
Ogun Badakri. It's a voodoo loa.
Speak English or shut up, Knight.
Sorry, I didn't mean to confuse you. Guess I'll take that as a no. Does the name Ogun Badakri mean anything to you?
Don't start with that again. I already got a headache.
Sorry. Do you know anything about black voodoo?
Black voodoo? Sounds like a put-on to me.
Do you know anything about Rada drums?
No.
They're these African drums, and they're being used all over the French Quarter to send messages for the voodoo cartel.
Yeah, right. When them drums announce a blue light special at OK Mart, let me know.
Crash is dead.
What? What are you talking about? I let him go yesterday.
Yeah, and I watched him die yesterday at St. Louis Cathedral.
At the cathedral? Guess he was trying to get a last-minute A-train ticket, eh? Poor bastard.
I think you should go find the body at the morgue. He was killed by the voodoo cult. Crash said.
Crash said? Did he mention pink elephants too?
Aren't you going to investigate?
Civilians. Did you actually see someone kill him?
No. Actually, I was with him when he died. Could have been poison, though.
Yeah, well, when they get the body in, they'll do a quick autopsy. Standard procedure. If it's anything other than an overdose, I'll get a report. But it won't happen. I know these guys. Lock them up overnight, and they tend to overdo it the next day.
Your professionalism is astonishing. There's been another murder. A professor at Tulane.
Oh, Christ, you're not gonna start this again.
Just listen. This guy's name is Hartridge. He was a professor in African Studies at Tulane. Yesterday, I went to see him about the voodoo murders case. He agreed to do some research for me. He calls me up this morning, tells me he's onto something big. And when I get over there, the guy's dead.
You know, you're really getting your ass in a sling over this thing, Knight.
It's not about me. Look, Hartridge's death looked just like Crash's. I'm telling you, they were both murdered. And by the same people who did the voodoo murders.
Did either Crash or this new guy have their hearts ripped out?
No.
Then there's nothing to link either to the voodoo murders, M.O. Besides that, the case is closed, Knight. If the coroner's report asks for a homicide investigation on either of these guys, fine. But it's not going to be related to the voodoo murders case unless we find damn good reason to do so.
But I'm the link to the voodoo murders case, don't you see?
Look, if I were you, I wouldn't repeat that to anyone. If I weren't an old friend of yours, I might take you seriously and lock you up. As it is, maybe you should start keeping your mouth shut. Not involve other people with this shit if you think it's so dangerous.
What's the status on the voodoo murders case?
The case? What case? I told you, the voodoo murders case is closed.
How can you just close it? It's not solved, is it?
Oh, it's solved. Turns out the Chicago Mafia was trying to invade local territory. Using Mississippi for drug running now that Florida's so hot. What we had here was a little resistance from local businessmen. Word came in this morning that the Chicago group is giving up and pulling out of New Orleans.
But that doesn't bring the killers to justice.
Well, the boys upstairs seem to figure it this way. Let the slime kill each other. Better the vermin we know than the Chicago vermin, I guess. The attitude in the department is that we've just been done a huge favor. Well, they're probably right.
What about the local cartel? Are you just gonna let them go?
At least they're part of us. We'll deal with them over time, always have. New Orleans is pretty clean that way, you know.
Well, that's the illusion, isn't it?
Look, I'm not totally in agreement here either, but what can I do? These guys are not about to get caught. I'm disappointed about the book, too. Look, next big murder case I get, I'll call you in and we'll do that one up right, okay? In fact, I could probably dig up some old cases and you could spice them up.
No, thanks.
How awfully convenient.
How can I convince you to reopen the case?
Look, the department's not interested.
So, couldn't you make them interested?
With what? I've got 7 bodies and still no leads. The voodoo angle's worthless. And besides, these people aren't hurting anybody but out-of-town drug dealers and hitmen.
The voodoo stuff is not worthless. It's the key to the whole thing. And these people are dangerous. They need to be stopped.
Okay. You want me to reopen this case? Prove what you just said.
What do you mean?
You need to prove there's a legitimate voodoo cult in New Orleans. Prove that they're a threat. Get me a lead on the cult.
Alright. We could do that. So, where shall we start?
You know those marks you found around the murder victims? This is a reconstruction of the whole pattern.
What makes you think this is an accurate reconstruction?
Well, I borrowed the partial patterns from your police file and did my own tracing of the pattern at Lake Pontchartrain. An architectural artist reconstructed it for me from the partials.
Really? So this is the whole pattern, huh? Well, that's pretty good work, Knight. But that doesn't prove that this pattern is really connected to voodoo.
No? Well, maybe this will help. Nope, this one.
Take a look at these notes. They're from Professor Hartridge at Tulane University.
Yeah? And what about them?
They confirm that the pattern from the murders is of African origin.
Really? It's incredible, isn't it? Something like that showing up here?
It's been here for quite some time, so it seems.
I'm impressed. Okay, you've convinced me. The murders were done by a legitimate voodoo cult.
I took this tracing from a tattoo on Crash's chest. It's related to the underworld voodoo cult.
Yeah? What makes you think that?
It's what Crash said just before he died.
Well, he was probably hallucinating from the drugs he OD'd on. Probably got that in the Navy or something.
No, I'm sure it's related. It's a snake seed, and
even if it were a signal of some sort, that doesn't prove that the murders were done by a legit voodoo cult.
This is a newspaper clipping about a murder committed in 1810. That murder is an exact match of the voodoo murders, right down to the marks around the bodies.
This does sound like the same M.O. 1810?
1810. They killed then, they're killing now. Isn't that proof that they're likely to kill again? That they are a threat?
Okay, they're a threat.
Now we should have one more piece of evidence that will help.
I have these two snake scales. One's from the crime scene at Lake Pontchartrain. The other's from a snake in the Voodoo Museum on Ursulines and Charters.
Is this common? Do they all look alike?
Not at all. They're both constrictor scales, and the coloring is the same. A python's coloring is quite individualistic.
A python?
That's right. Hardly an indigenous snake to Louisiana. Somehow, some way, the Voodoo Museum's python was at the scene of the Lake Pontchartrain murder.
Well, I'd call that a lead, all right. It certainly suggests certain lines of inquiry at the museum. Not bad work, Knight. If we can tie them into this voodoo cult, we just might have something. Okay, I'll reopen the case. I hate to admit it, but you've done some pretty good detective work here, Knight.
Well, you know what they say. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
Well, point taken. Glad I could inspire you. I'll check around the department, but I have a feeling I'm on my own. In fact, I better lock up this office just in case I step on a few toes. Come on. Now, lay low and let me handle this.
Yeah, fine.
Good old Mosley. I knew that we could count on him.
It's getting late. Gabriel decides to go home for the day.
Damn!